Hey everyone, okay, so today this is a very exciting day for me and I hope it is for you too. So my brushes have been out for a number of years now, a few years actually, and it has been a dream come true to be able to create these and get them out to you. And to celebrate, I thought I would change things up a bit. So let me now introduce you to the brand new face set. So as you can see, the face set has had a complete makeover. They are now completely pure white. And they are softer than the ones that came before. These are so beautifully soft. You have to feel them to understand that softness. Now, the thing that separated the face set from the original collection was that the face set could be used with powders and creams, whereas my original collection, Wayne Goss the collection, these were just for powders only. But the face set could be used with creams, with liquids, and with powders. This is exactly the same. All of these brushes can be used with any form of medium, which makes them really unique in the fact that they work with the powders and the creams and the liquids, which is wonderful. So let me talk you through it because one of these brushes has been completely revamped. So let's start. So first is brush number 10. This is a brand new brush and it is replacing the original number 10 brush. The reason that I replaced this brush was because there was already a foundation brush in my collection, the number 1 brush, and then we also had the number 13 brush, which is, you know, an all-rounder brush that can absolutely be used for foundation. So I didn't feel the need for another brush. And a lot of people were asking for a brush that was similar to brush number 2, but that could be used with liquids and creams and contouring, you know, products. So here it is. So this is the softest brush. I mean, all the brushes are soft, but it's beyond soft. So you can use this with all your mediums. You can powder directly under the eyes with this. Because of the tip and the point, you can highlight and contour with absolute precision. With more pressure, it becomes a rounder brush. You can apply your brusher. It's great for contouring around the hairline because it's small enough to get into the hairline. This is what makes it so good and why brush number 2 is so popular, because it can do all those things with one single brush, whether you're powdering an entire face or whether you are just micro powdering or highlighting. This is the brush that does it for you, and it is truly unique. Cream blusher on this will blend into the skin like you wouldn't believe. So next is brush number 11. Now brush number 11 is nearly the same as its predecessor, almost identical. The shape has been refined ever so slightly, and of course the hair has been made softer. Now none of these brushes will bleed or anything like that. They are pure natural white, which is great. Now this is the brush that you would pick up. Most people actually use this brush for the buffing technique because it's large enough to be able to go over the entire face with buffing. And because it's softer now, it's not going to move anything. This is a great brush for use with bronzer, for use with blusher, because it's big enough to cover the areas that you want it to apply. But for those of you who really love the buffing technique, and why would you not, this is the brush that I would pick up for the buffing technique. So next we've got brush number 12. Now 12 again is exactly the same, it's just been refined ever so slightly, so it's slightly tighter than it was before. This is the brush that I would use personally for bronzer and contouring products. Now there are a couple of ways to use it when you're talking about bronzer and contouring. The first one is the stamp method. That's how I would use it in real life. So you apply the product to the brush, and rather than doing this, you actually stamp and press it into the skin. You're getting a direct application of color where you want it. And rather than doing that, because sometimes, especially with other brushes, when you're doing this, it can move the foundation. So with the stamping technique, it's excellent for that. For those of you who really want the blended contour, just apply contour to half of the brush, just half of it. Apply that, say, to the ear, move down, and the bristles that don't have the contour on will blend that for you. But it's such a beautiful brush. Again, the softness of these is phenomenal. So next we're moving on to brush number 13. Again, this has been kept exactly the same. It's just a tiny bit tighter than the predecessor. Again, softness beyond belief. This is the brush that does it all. So you could dip this into a liquid foundation and buff it all over the face, and it would give you the most beautiful, beautiful airbrushed finish results. Then you can dip this directly into a loose powder, and then you can powder the entire face. This is what I use for mineral foundations, which is what I wear when I film videos. Again, blusher, bronzer, highlighter, it does it all. It's the one multitasking brush that does everything. So next we're going to move on to brush number 14. Again, only thing that's changed is the color, because the sizes and shapes of the brushes from the face set were so good, they were, that I didn't see the need to change them. So this has been kept exactly the same. It's just softer and it is completely white now. This is the brush, very pigmented blushes, right? Will give you a wash of color like you wouldn't believe. This is what I would pick up oftentimes if I want to create a halo of highlight, particularly with loose shimmer powders, because you can apply it so gently onto the cheeks. It's great for those of you who don't like a heavy makeup look, because your blushes, your bronzers, your powders can all be applied really, really delicately. And finally, we're going on to the last brush, brush number 15, and this is the fan brush. Again, everything has been kept the same, everything, because this brush was so good. You can use this in numerous ways. Ultra fine powdering, really defined contouring and highlighting of the cheekbone and underneath the cheekbone. This is great for applying loose shimmers of highlight as well, because you can really etch out that design. Great for contouring and sculpting with a blusher, where you can really get into the areas that you want by mixing it into your colors and really going up onto the cheekbone and just up into the temple area to give that really natural look. Again, it's completely revamped. Once you feel these, you will understand how truly amazing they are. And I hope you love them the way that I do, because I just think with the black handle and the white lettering and then this incredibly white bristle, they just look phenomenal. Now, all the information is in the description bar below, set up for early access and all of that stuff. And again, I want to thank everyone who has purchased the brushes and who continues to purchase them, and the comments that come from it, because they are truly amazing, and I really hope you're as excited as I am. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.